My name is Dr. Catherine Ball. I'm originally from Coventry, which is right in the middle of England in the UK, but now I live in beautiful Brisbane. People, when you talk to them about the UK, don't really get or understand the Midlands very well. No one really ever says, oh, the Midlands, yes, I know Coventry, I know Warwick, I know Birmingham. Going into university was very rare for my peer group. It was very rare for my school. For me, I saw my education as a pathway to exploring the planet and not being restricted by the socioeconomic circumstances in which I'd been brought up in. Coventry was a place that was a big, and is still a big, industry, manufacturing type city. And during World War II was absolutely flattened. We had this thing called the Blitz. Nazi Germany came over and just literally bombed it to smithereens. It was not a military location, but it was an industrial location. As a city, when I was a kid, knowing it, growing up, it was concrete. It was that 1950s brutalist concrete architecture. London is a completely different kind of city because it's very green and it's still got a lot of historical architecture. And even here in Brisbane, when you go up and down the river on some of the city ferries and the city cats, you can see old historical buildings. In amongst the skyscrapers, they're still there and their heritage protected. In Coventry, there was nothing left to protect. I moved to Australia in 2010, came here for work. 9 years later, I'm here and I'm an Australian and I have one baby on the way and another baby that's out. It's nearly 2 years old. I am what I would call a bit of an accidental entrepreneur. I have a number of businesses that I work across, which range from producing books to mentoring to professional speaking to geospatial training through to drone consultancy through to working with universities and putting together teams of people that can actually attack gnarly, difficult, interdisciplinary projects. That's kind of where my passion lies, really. So where we are now is like Operations Central for me and my businesses. We're in Kangaroo Point in Brisbane, which is no longer populated by kangaroos. We've got a view of a heritage garden that's been here for over 100 years. You can't have skyscrapers on this side of the area because of the Story Bridge. It protects it. You're not allowed to build above that. What we've got here in terms of being right in a city centre is actually a sense of space and a sense of light and a sense of sky. But then you've also got the river that just quietly breathes and meanders its way around and changes on an hourly basis in terms of the tide. A lot of the Midlands where I'm from have a lot of canals because they were used as transport for coal to the factories to things like that. So we have waterways there, but they're not natural, they're concrete waterways. But where you come from, I think, does, I think it's a fundamental part of who you are. How you get brought up, where you get brought up, what you see when your brain is developing, what you see when you're growing up. I remember having the most amazing childhoods where my friend Stephanie and I would get on our bikes and we would ride up to the canals, beautiful woodland areas, and ride through fields, and just the sense of freedom and quiet of being amongst the countryside in England. Yeah, very happy memories. When I first got here and I was like, that river is very brown. This river was crystal clear when the Victorians settled here. It was beautifully pristine waters which they would bathe in. Now it's not. Now it's full of sediment. And it's a problem and it's a shame. I mean, doing science for science's sake is great. Applying it to a problem, that's actually where I'm quite passionate about that at the moment. I remember when I was a kid, I used to love my parents' copy of the Phillips Atlas. And I used to go through those pages and I would look at where we were and I'd find us on a map, and then I'd go around the world trying to work out where things were. And I don't know, I always just saw it as a gateway. Maps and cartography for me is just a gateway into understanding how other people live. One thing I've found is no matter where I've gone in the world, you will always find good people. And I think one of the biggest things about our sense of place is that it should never be taken as the only part of your identity. We are global citizens, we're all living on the same planet.